In 1998, Robert Redford starred in The Horse Whisperer, a western that had the potential to be a huge hit, yet the movie's shocking ending put it at a severe disadvantage. Since the 1960s, Redford has been a significant presence in Hollywood. He quickly rose to fame after starring in films like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Sting, and All the President's Men. Later, Redford pivoted towards directing, and earned several Academy Awards and nominations. Thus, by 1998, Redford was established as both an actor and director, putting The Horse Whisperer in a good place for success. The Horse Whisperer follows a young girl named Grace who gets into a traumatic accident with her horse. Determined to heal both her daughter and the horse, Grace's mother, Annie, decides to move them to the ranch of a horse whisperer named Tom. Over time, Grace begins to recover while Annie and Tom grow closer. It seems as though Annie could leave behind her workaholic lifestyle and boring husband for Tom. Yet, The Horse Whisperer ends with Annie returning to the city, just like Tom's previous wife did, cutting their romance terribly short. The Horse Whisperer's downbeat ending hurts the movie's story. How The Horse Whisperer should have ended. Although The Horse Whisperer is a solid movie, with a strong 73% on Rotten Tomatoes, the film loses some of its greatness because of its ending. The Horse Whisperer is a movie that is inspirational and moving. Watching Grace and her horse recover from their accident is a beautiful thing, and it leaves viewers with a heartwarming feeling. The same can be said for the love story between Tom and Annie. Though they come from two different worlds, they are undeniably drawn to each other. The door opens for Annie to take on a completely different, and arguably better, life. Yet, Annie doesn't take this opportunity. Grace gets better and Annie's husband gives her the choice to be with Tom, but Annie goes home anyway. After seeing so much positive growth in the movie, it is hard for audiences to accept that Annie and Tom won't be together. It completely negates all the good feelings the rest of the movie built. If Tom and Annie had their happily ever after, the movie would end on a high note. However, because Annie leaves Tom at the end of The Horse Whisperer, audiences are left feeling sad about what could have been. The Horse Whisperer is a different type of western, but could have become a genre classic. The Horse Whisperer is a more thoughtful western. Annie and Tom in The Horse Whisperer. Ultimately, The Horse Whisperer's ending kept it from becoming a staple of the western genre. The movie isn't necessarily what many would imagine when they think about the best westerns, but that is exactly what made it so good. The Redford movie isn't concerned with gunslinging cowboys or violent crimes. Instead, The Horse Whisperer draws on the more emotional and thoughtful side of the western genre. It centers on a cowboy who has the power to affect the world around him, whether it is horses or people, and argues that the cowboy way of life is something to yearn for. In general, westerns like The Horse Whisperer deserve a lot more praise. While it is exciting to see classic western showdowns and horse races, audiences may feel much more affected by the emotional turmoil of a cowboy. Arguably, this makes the movies all the more relatable. Viewers have probably never gotten into a fight in a saloon, but they have certainly mourned the loss of something they loved and felt hope for a new romance. All in all, The Horse Whisperer fumbled its ending, but it is still a worthwhile western.